Nice way to start off the night. That is a good evening, and welcome to the 19th edition of Alabama Primetime Live. I'm yours truly, your substitute host, Jackson Johnson, and Coach Newkine, bringing you the latest news and notes on the Alabama Crimson Tide. And let me tell you something, folks, you're going to be in for a wild ride. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I think I'm going to have to jump out and jump back in. Can you all hear me good in the chat? Let me know if y'all can hear me good. I think I'm going to have to reset something real quick. So I'm gonna when you get ready to do the intro and everything, I'll jump out and jump right back in so we can make sure everything's squared away. All right.
All righty.
Yeah. Well, we got a storm coming through too. Everybody out there, Central Alabama area. I know I'm in Montgomery area, so the storm that's hitting is pretty tough right now. It's messing up some of the signal things, and so we're gonna try to push through it tonight. But thank everybody for coming through. Yeah, they said they could hear me all loud and clear. Good. So it's just I gotta come back in so I can get the audio for the stream. So that's good. I appreciate y'all for the responses. Jordan, appreciate you for pulling up. Car Nurse, appreciate you for pulling up. Zach, appreciate you, everybody for pulling up, man. Roll Tide to everybody in the chat. I'll be right back, Jackson. Do your thing, brother. You got it.
All righty. Well, of course, we got the YouTube memberships for Alabama The Voice College Football for $2.99 a month. You can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll get loyalty badges next to your name and custom emojis to use in the comments and in the live chat, and you get member shout-outs, like our good buddy Jordan Wright and Zachary Wilges, who get shout-outs because why? They're YouTube members, all right here on Alabama The Voice College Football. So tune in. So come on in, become a YouTube member at Alabama The Voice College Football. Also for $4.99 a month, where you can become a Saban Disciple, where you'll get priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Coach Smook, Coach Johnny Birch, Jeffrey Only Talk Sports, and of course, Manny Wilson. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend by connecting on social media with each of us and giving out content requests of any kind, in neither rain nor sleet nor snow, including the miserable Alabama heat nor the miserable storms, will stop us from fulfilling your content request if you become a Bear Bryant legend right here on Alabama The Voice College Football.
Yes, sir. Are we back?
Oh, I think we are. We're back in action.
Yes, sir. And not just us here on Voice of College Football. I'm talking about Alabama football in general. Man, we've been on a tear. The Smook Scoop has been busy. I'm glad to be a part of this network, man. We've got some progress in making some advances and providing you all some more in-depth coverage of the Alabama football program for this upcoming fall. So continue to tune in, guys, and just continue to like and share the streams as we're live here on Facebook and Twitter. I think we're live on both tonight, right? Facebook and Twitter. Alabama at the Voice of College Football, and then Jackson Voice of College Football at Twitter. We're live over there. So if you're on either platform, continue to share the content because we got some hot takes tonight. One starting, Jackson, you want to take it, man? Take it into our first topic of discussion for tonight?
Oh, man. It was like, I didn't know this was going to be our first topic until it happened, because we got Brian Williams Jr. from Florida becoming a commit for the Crimson Tide. He chose Alabama over Notre Dame, Kentucky, Florida, and Penn State. He's joining Owen Cabell. I got to tell you, like, we're striking while the iron's hot.
Yes.
I mean, because it's like, some people could play, oh, we're getting too many 3-stars. Now, the way I look at it is we're bringing that 5-star athleticism. We've got those 3-stars are masquerade. Like, they're really just 5 stars masquerading as 3 stars. That's just the way I see it. And it's huge right there. I mean, like, we offered him we offered him in April, so that's a win there over Georgia and everybody. Like, and he says, quote, "When he called me, I could tell right away it's a business." Williams said of his first impression of Jamarcus Shepard in Alabama, "I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. When you go there, it's time to work. If you don't perform, you're out. It's just work, work, work." He was very straightforward with everything, and I appreciate that. And he's the first Florida commit of 2026. Well, Coach, what does this commitment mean for Alabama? Because the way I look at it, This is another win in the wide receiver death for the next few years.
100%. I mean, you look at the style of receiver that Alabama has landed in this class. Starting off with Owen Cabell, 6'3", 6'4", frame 200-pounder, can stretch the field, 4.4 speed. Has a nice vertical, strong hands, is a great route runner, can play in that slot or that what we would like to see, where we want to see Ryan Williams really thrive at this season at that Z position, where you're going to see a lot of twin set type of concepts and switch release concepts thrown at that side of the field. And when you have big bodies that can move, like guys like Ryan Williams and your Rico Scotts, and you're able to put those 6'3", 6'4" frame guys out there and do that, you're becoming a dangerous receiving core. And we're going to get a great look at what that's going to look like, a good glimpse of what that's going to look like with Isaiah Horton, Rico Scott, Jalen Hill in this lineup. At personnel groupings like that, where we go kind of big with personnel and size and height, you're going to see the type of vertical passing threat this offense is designed to display. Now, you look at Brian Williams, man, he's more of a speedster than Owen Cabell, and you look at Owen Cabell's film. I know you guys were reacting to his film yesterday. He's a fast kid, man. He could stretch the field. So to get two guys with similar skill sets in the same class, to have them committed this early and really dialed into buying into that mindset of we're coming to work because we see what the legacy is developing at, what the culture is developing at Alabama. Those are some key fits for Alabama. And then to be able to say we're leaning with Sedarius Morgan, I really think this solidifies my thoughts on what this class was. I spoke of this on the Coach Smoot Network this past, I want to say Monday. I said, don't be surprised if Alabama goes for a duo of trio guys. You get what I'm saying? Like two sets of trios in this class, meaning two big sets of wide receivers and running backs. We saw the flip from the Ja'Vari Barnett from Illinois. We saw him flip from Illinois and commit to Alabama. Then we saw Crowell commit. And I keep telling everybody, do not sleep on Cooper. There's a reason why he's delaying that commitment. Everybody was so convinced that he was going to be to Miami or, Florida. I think that young man is looking at the opportunity to be in the next rotational trio of guys to continue to stack and pad this development course and what's happening in Alabama. Plus, you see a lot of young guys getting opportunities. Guys like Brian Williams Jr. will have opportunities with so many wide receivers transitioning out of this wide receiver room next year. So I think the more you pad the room with depth and talent, skill sets that match the scheme, right? This is starting to become a dangerous recruiting class as far as the wide receiver room, with already an underrated Owen Cabell 3-star. And we know you turn the film on for Brian Williams Jr. We saw the highlights. He's got the 5-star talent, but we know wide receiver wise, we know you're only going to get 4 or 5 stars in the class. Especially with a defensive line class that's as loaded as this 26 class. I think we're getting a quality addition here with Brian Williams Jr.
Well, we're looking at the recruiting rankings according to 247. So now that's our 16th commit for the 2026 recruiting class. We're now number 7. I keep telling everybody, for those tuning into the videos on Alabama The Voice College Football, anytime there's a recruiting update, I'm telling everybody, we're going back to the top 5. I promise you. It looked a little depressing when we were in the top 3, but I said, don't worry, we're going back to the top 5. We're going back up. We're going back up to the top 5. I mean, like Miami, what they got? How great the 80s were, how great the 90s were. I mean, it's like they don't even have a home stadium. Come on.
So, and this is the thing. People got to remember, you always have the reclassification period, right? Where guys get re-rated throughout the course of the season or right before the season. I believe the new ratings come out like mid-August, September, something like that. I can't remember, but there's always these reclass. We saw it happen with Jalen Mbakwe, Xavier Brown, in that first class that carried him over to Kalen DeBoer at 24 recruiting class. So I look at this class, man, and it's a lot of underrated guys that aren't 5 stars that will get. It's only 25 stars right now. So I think we get 12 more slots, and a lot of those guys have that Bama padded for their recruiting profile now, that Bama offer and that Bama commit there. So that just pads it, and you're going to see a lot of these guys get that bump, and those ratings going to start go up. You're going to see a lot of these 4 stars that are like 91 overall composites, 91 guys, they'll be 93, 94 rated, and that typically is a 5-star rating. And these are quality guys. I kept telling everybody when Kalen DeBoer and his staff came over, expect diversity, but quality. Quality and diversity, meaning it's okay to get your Southern-born, corn-fed boys and all that good stuff, but there's some talent out there. And if you can go get the top 5, top 10 guy each state or whatever position, you're looking at maybe he's going to be right there in the mix of being a top 10 guy in the state of Alabama or in the state of Georgia or in the state of Florida. He's going to be right there in that mix. And that's what Kalen DeBoer and his staff is doing. Courtney Morgan, having his expertise, being a former player, it's playing a lot. You look at what Alabama does on the recruiting trail, man. It's like they're going to get, okay, we saw Jeremy Bernard excel at this. If he was 6'4", he would definitely be. So let's go get 6'4" Jeremy Bernards. Let's go get one of those. And that's what you got in Brian Williams Jr., a guy that's a little bit faster, but he gives you Jeremy Bernard skill set. You can put him in the ice. You can put him in the jet motion. You can line him up on the boundary. He gives you all the skill sets you want at the wide receiver position. You add a guy like Owen Cabell. You go and get Sedarian Morgan and mess around and flip the young man Corey Barber from Ole Miss, a very highly rated, underrated 4-star in the state of Alabama, in-state guy that I think is really starting to see this class get stacked. Man, it could get crazy for Alabama recruiting coming here around signing day, early signing day.
Oh, agreed. Now we got On3/Rivals. I don't know what we're calling them yet because of the sale, but On3/Rivals has Alabama 10th in the rankings for the 2026 recruiting class with this commit. And I'm just kind of like, it's funny though, where, I'm looking at the screen where it's like On3/Rivals Nets minute, but we're back in the top 10. That's the important thing. We're back in the top 10. That's what matters. We're going back to the top 5.
Right.
Oh yeah. Cause we can, and we will. And it's like Coach is saying, all those 3 stars, 4 stars, you're going to see them reclassified to 5-star because some of these guys, they play like 5 stars. We're striking while the iron is hot. We're getting them before everybody else is realizing they're missing out. All righty. So before we get to our next topic, next week is Prime Week. I don't know what I'm getting from Amazon. Do you know what you're getting, Coach?
I have no idea, man. I haven't got anything from Amazon in probably like 3-4 months now.
Smart man. But I gotta figure out something because it's like I gotta get something nice for somebody. This doppelganger of Mark Rogers can give us the answer.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Shop on Amazon using the link to support the Voice of College Football. You don't need to buy the product display. It doesn't cost you a penny. Get the same shopping experience. And here is the link down below. And we've got somebody joining us for this swinging party on the 19th edition of the Alabama Primetime Live Show. You see him Mondays and Thursday nights. Jeffrey from All Talk Sports. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing great, Jackson. I just saw that you guys were live a little late tonight, so I was like, I could swing by and just see how things are going over there. I see that we got a 4-star receiver. That's big news. That is massive news for Alabama. We're doing awesome on the recruiting trail, and appreciate you letting me join.
Oh man, it's always good having you on for sure, man. It's like you and Coach Smoot. We know it's gonna be a part. We're like those alley cats on the Aristocats, just playing that music at midnight.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But how much money is Alabama spending in revenue now that it's official as of July 1st? That's the question we're really thinking about. Because, like, I was watching a little bit of Ohio State Primetime Live last night, and Garrison and Ryan Stearns were talking about how Ohio State is spending $35 million on their roster, and I believe we're spending $18 million. But we'll have to go ahead and double check this just in case. Ooh,
Yeah, we're way behind if that's true. Like, that's a big difference.
You gotta also there's a certain way that things have to be accounted for when we're talking about revenue sharing, and a lot of this is not directly paid out to the athletes. This is what everybody has to realize. This is program funding, all of that being factored in. Now the NCAA ruling has it to where is everybody's capped at 20.5 mil. That's for your athletics program, and that's just for this term. And then I guess they're supposed to come back and review year in and year out as this continues to evolve. But that's kind of like, it's kind of fake news when you hear that they're putting out 35 mil on their roster. It's not just on their roster. That's what Ohio State is going to bring in as far as NIL revenue across all of their athletics. You know, what they're being allotted to use and pay directly to athletes is going to be capped, just like everybody else across the college football. So that I think that's what we need to understand when we kind of dive into this, because Alabama, even Greg Byrne, we saw the article release. He released exactly how the revenue sharing would be between all of the different athletic programs at Alabama. You know, with your major funding ones that bring in majority of the revenue, getting majority of the share, but having an equal amount of share to where each athlete and NIL opportunity presented is going to, based off the market, is going to be able to be maximized. And I think we have a good scaled system that's going to be able to translate across college football, because you see schools that are maximizing it already, like Texas. You know, Texas is utilizing it, maximizing it on the NCAA side, and then the private sector, they found a way to kind of, you know, get it to where it is not directly funded to the players, but what's surrounding the players. And that's what I think is kind of like the narrative around it, more so than the actual roster being 35 mil.
I mean, it's nuts. Like, I mean, it's like Texas spending all that money. I mean, I'm sure Texas Tech's got more money, but it's like that's not really doing Texas Tech a solids. I mean, they're doing well in basketball, but they don't do well in football. But I do feel like Alabama will be fine, because like we tend to make it out. We tend to do all right with or without. Like we'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's encouraging, as you mentioned, Coach Smook, that money is most likely being used for a bunch of other things. So it's not just the roster. Because if it's just the roster straight up, then, I mean, we would be in really bad shape to be that behind. If it was strictly for the roster, 35 million versus 18, you're going to lose out on tons of great players to Ohio State and other programs that would be using that much. But if it is more so, you know, like that, a lot of that money's not just for the roster, then I do think that Alabama will be, you know, still fine. I mean, the brand name itself, Alabama, still carries so much weight that we're going to be able to land a lot of great players based off that alone, and we still are. But definitely we have to be competitive in the NIL space regardless, even if we're not number one or even in the top 5 in NIL for paying players. As long as we're competitive with our brand name and all that, we'll be fine. But definitely that 35 million with Ohio State, hopefully not even 60% or 70% of that's for the roster. Hopefully it's, you know, a little bit less, you know, than that. You don't want all of it being going to their players, because they are landing great players for a reason.
So I want to share something with y'all. We got a crazy, nasty staff over here at the Coach Smook Network. And I have a team, man, and we kind of dove into like some roundabout numbers of the estimated revenue sharing. It's crazy that we brought this topic up tonight here on the on Voice of College Football, and that we are able to be prepared in this type of aspect. Shout out to my team, man. Y'all give it up for the AAA family that's showing up supporting tonight, man. They provided some quality stuff for us to utilize. So check this out. I'm gonna share a screen here, Jackson, when we're gonna get a little side view going here. Boom, shakalaka, boom. And check this out. So this is what we calculated, right? This is nothing official. This is just based off of public information. We have our theory of, you know, what the numbers really look like, right? So the estimated annual revenue for Alabama athletics program is 143 million, if I'm not mistaken. That's right, 143 million annual revenue across all athletics. That's everything pulled in, right? 22% of the revenue, which would go towards college, the football program, right? 31 mil, right? Estimated revenue sharing, that means divided amongst the players that NIL value, whatever, 20.5 mil. This is what it kind of broke down to based off the understanding of what Greg Burns said. So if football is getting 77% of this revenue sharing, right, an estimated 15.8 mil of the 20.5 mil is going to be eligible between 105 athletes, maximizing each athlete to be directly paid from the university $150K. That's what you can see. That is like amazing to see that, right? But you got to understand how this works. Not every athlete is going to get 150,000. One athlete may, of this 15 mil, you have athletes on Alabama's roster, and we're talking about the business side of it, that will make 1.4 mil this year. You have, red shirt sophomores and red shirt juniors that will make, 2.3 mil in direct pay into their livings and earnings, as long as they are within the confines of all of these bargaining agreements and under the table things that happen in order to make it legit, right, with NCAA. So that's crazy to see, but it's also great to see that we have a legit plan. You're talking about 105 athletes taking advantage of an opportunity. This isn't like when it first started in 2021, where you had 12 guys getting money and then they were sharing it with their teammates because they were good guys. Everybody wasn't doing that. So now you have a solid revenue sharing plan. Men's basketball, they bring in what they bring in. And all the other sports, you got to think, a lot of these other sports, they already have the independent funding, especially baseball. We know how baseball works with the pros and how they do scouting and everything that aligns with agents, representation, and all that in college baseball. So it's already been kind of set up for baseball. This kind of pads it and makes it even better. I like the structure of it. And to hear, like, not everybody is using this structure, though. You have Ohio State, who's probably using 80% of their revenue sharing towards their football program, which is well within their rights. They probably only have, football and basketball and lacrosse or croquet bringing in majority of their shared revenue. So that's kind of like the outline of it. We're going to actually make some posts about this. What y'all think about this, though, as I kind of scan through this? What you think about it, Jeffrey, and then Jackson? You can take a look at it. I mean, it's pretty solid to me. If this was realistic, like if this is realistic what it is, I think these are some solid numbers for each athlete to be able to make somewhere in.
I got the dollar signs on my eyes.
I mean 150,000 a year, like, as an average, that's a lot of money. I mean, you think about regular people, regular Americans, right?
Right.
So many people do not make 150K a year, and that's the average. Because, like you said, some people, some athletes are going to be making 1.5 million, maybe 2 million, and others might be making 50K or 40,000. Yeah. But that's still good, just for being there. Like, you're already getting a scholarship to be at the school, but you're still getting that. Like, that's fantastic. I agree with you that it is good to have a legitimate plan like this. If it, all this is like 100%, absolutely legit, it is a good plan to have that. And I think most schools are definitely going to divide the money like this, to have basically 75% or 80% going to football. I mean, especially the ones like that are big in football, like Alabama or Georgia. It is tough for the other sports, but again, I've said it before, to other people, other sports just don't bring in the same amount of revenue. They just don't.
Right.
Lacrosse, curling, water polo, softball, even baseball, like baseball, softball, they do all right, but they still don't bring in massive numbers. Even basketball, only 15% with Alabama in this metric here. And Alabama basketball is getting a lot better. Like, we are like really good right now in basketball, but still only 15%. That shows you how much money football brings in, and that's why they're getting the most for sure.
That's crazy though. But you look at the number, right? You look at it and be like, that's not enough for basketball, but that's 15 players directly paid from the university, split in $3 million. Like, I don't think anybody on any tournament team, if I was to join a intramural tournament league, right, and I make a 15-man roster and we have an opportunity to split $3 million after winning the tournament, I don't care what my percentage is at this point, right? There's a cutoff like 20K, I'm good. Like, we're good. And I'm just going to hold your towel, hold a spot on the bench, or if I'm a contributor, we're going to get paid what we're worth. And I think this is what it kind of starts to prepare, kind of like what I was hoping for. And I think Coach Saban had more so of this directive. Let's go ahead and start structuring this towards pro development. Since we're adding money into it, let's go ahead and turn this college football evolutionize this to where we keep the integrity of the game by turning this into junior pro development transitional phase instead of just strictly student athlete. Like, this is what it is. You have to have student athletes that's going to be students, right? They're going to get degrees. They're going to be something. And then that 1%, that 2% that make it to the NFL, you have them in this pro development mindset and phase. And it's kind of allowing you to start not separating, but kind of finding that balance in everything around college football with money being involved now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like some of these players who have never like come into money. My advice to them: once you get this money, do what you've been doing for a full year. Do not spend it all in one day, 1 week, 1 month, nothing. You make sure you save that money. Only use it for emergencies.
Right.
That's what I've heard. Like, once you win the lottery or once you come into big time money, do what you've been doing for 1 full year, and then you can spend on what you need. But what you want to do is make sure you learn how to invest. Invest in the future. Invest in 20 years from now, 30, 40 years from now. Investing is key, my friends.
Absolutely, Jackson. I mean, so many people have talked about, like setting up, I don't want to say courses or like a program or something like that for athletes where they teach them, how to manage their money, how to not basically lose all your money by blowing it or making bad investment deals or whatever. Because so many athletes, even like before the NIL era, you look at guys like Mike Tyson that, lost everything, or, Allen Iverson almost lost everything, but he had like that last bit of money, like 40 million tucked away. And that's why he's still all right.
Sure.
It's like a 20-year thing or whatever. But, these younger athletes is even worse because, they see this money and they're buying a Lamborghini or whatever. It's like they just need to be careful. Like you said, Jackson, invest your money. And if you're smart with it, you can turn, a couple, 100,000 into a lot of more money than that if you're smart with it.
Don't go around creepy individuals that your family trusted like Zion Williamson did.
Listen, man, it's crazy that you all say that because we have that in place at the University of Alabama, and it really starts in the recruiting process. Personally on-hand information, just guys understanding what I can do if I follow a program or a process. And that's what I think has been embraced at the University of Alabama. Buying into that, not necessarily the dollar value or the amount, but literally buying into that process because it's really preparing you for the next level. And that's why you see guys confident coming out as redshirt juniors and redshirt sophomores, not having those first round grades, knowing that it's process. Get me on the roster. Now I can prove myself on the roster. And you see that 22 guys, the 23 guys, you're starting to see them kind of float around the league and get into some very favorable roles in contract negotiations and everything because of the process and how they valued themselves and created them value for themselves during this early NIL era. So I think it's starting to come together. If we can just get more of the big talking heads to stop whining about it and really just look at embracing it, not necessarily embracing it, but seeing the importance and the need for change so that everybody can continue to keep this culture, the integrity of this culture when it comes to college football. It needs to evolve and needs to change. And I think we're heading in the right direction with initiatives like this and, seeing those numbers. If that's accurate, I think we're in a good spot with college football. If that can be influential and be kind of mirrored across the league, across the country, we can see some quality things happening for NIL and college football. So, it should be cool. Should be good. I think Alabama's in the driver's seat for this, though. I really do. Alabama, Florida. I see Tennessee really with the Nico thing. I think they're really open their eyes and they're going to be reevaluating some initiatives because they had a lot of, private support and endorsements and things rolling in, and they had to kind of recalculate those things and check those initiatives, man. And you see a lot of insiders over there talking about how they're doing with their NIL and what they're doing and how they're recruiting now, and that's why Braden Rouse, guys like that, you see them going to Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been winning on the recruiting trail over the last couple of days. Like,
Yeah.
shout out to the guys from Tennessee at the Voice College Football for keeping everybody updated on that. And I think it's because Heupel has, I'm gonna say it, the Bobby Hill Riz.
Yes.
So,
I mean, it's like I can't really say anything too bad about Heupel. I mean, Tennessee's beating us in Knoxville, but it's like I can't really say anything bad about the guy. I mean, he's just so likable. What could I say? But
right.
Alrighty, we've got some more good news. More good news, and it's from our guy Steve Hawley at Roll Tide Wire, a good friend of ours, matter of fact, talking about 3 Alabama football players being named in the Walter Camp preseason All-Americans for 2025. Let's see who those names are. Oh, Caden Proctor, Tim Keenan III, and of course, Ryan Williams. I mean, you don't leave out Ryan Williams. There you go. He's best for last. Love seeing Ryan Williams making that magic. You see him on the thumbnails. You see him everywhere, all right here on Alabama Voice College Football. You can't get away from Ryan Williams, and you're going to love Ryan Williams if you're not a Bama fan. I can guarantee you.
Absolutely. I mean, he's such a fun player to watch. I mean, with his performance in that Georgia game, like early in the season, I mean, I was like hyping him up as the best receiver in college football. And then obviously he kind of started fading out of the offense more so at the end of the season when we were struggling. And so Jeremiah Smith really, amped it up at Ohio State. And he's probably the best complete receiver in college football for sure. But Ryan Williams, he's the most fun to watch, though, when he's making plays. He is such an electric player. And definitely should be a preseason All-American for sure. I cannot wait to see what he can do this season, and hopefully our passing offense is great, so he can, go out there and make a lot of headline Sports Center top 10 plays. Yeah, he's young, and they made that very well known that he was only 17 last year.
I mean, that's everybody was like, yeah, I know you're tired of hearing it, but he's only 17. Like, we know. And I think, this year, man, this season, he said it, and you can kind of see it in his demeanor and how he's handling the media and all of his appearances, man. It's really a different type of focus for this young group that's really got veteran type prowess about them. That 24 class really got thrown into the fire last year, and they don't have to prove anything. I think they've done the proving of being able to go through the fire. They stay committed through the transition. No portal guys, no portal presence after the spring. And there are a lot of your vocal leaders from that 24 class that are really stepping up as young leaders, true sophomores, redshirt freshmen on the field that are being leaders and motivating the guys that are kind of left over from that Saban era and are kind of bought in. So it's a collective effort of guys just bought in, mindsets being on the same page. And when you have guys like Caden Proctor being listed, Ryan Williams, and who's the third one?
Tim Keenan III.
Tim Keenan, that right there, that's respect. I think Tim Keenan is due for a big year. He really needs to pop this year. And he's going to have limited reps doing it because they're going to utilize the depth at the D-line rotation. So I think that in itself is going to help him not having to be out there for 55, 60 snaps, really being able to adapt to this gap blitz scheme, this stunt front movement. He's athletic for his size, not the biggest, but his size and how hard it is to move him. He gets to the quarterback. I just want to see him finish more this year. But Caden Proctor, is due for a complete year. Let's show up even against the trash teams, Caden. You played great against the good teams and bad against the trash teams. So let's play a complete year and solidify yourself as, the next great Alabama offensive tackle. And we, like you said, Ryan Williams is just Ryan Williams, man.
Agreed. I'm just ready to see 2025 because, we're only 60 days away from kickoff for 2025. So it's exciting. In Jeffrey's time zone, it's basically 2 hours and 49 minutes away from it being 59 days. Oh, man.
Getting close, man.
We're getting closer and closer.
Not the time.
Hey, it's like Ditz Clark's New Year's Eve parties. So we're just like counting down to kickoff every day and every night.
I still laugh that they keep it Dick Clark's, Rockin' Eve. It's like he's not there anymore, But I get it, the name, he did it for so long, but it's funny.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. But we've got more. We're gonna be looking at some more recruiting news, of course. And I know Cedarian Morgan is choosing between Alabama and Auburn. We hope it's Bama, which, let's be honest, we think it is.
I want everybody to understand this. Cedarian Morgan is kind of like a Ryan Williams saga right now. I look at what just happened with Owen Cabell and Brian Williams Jr. It just further helps me solidify my thoughts in the transition of the wide receiver position at the University of Alabama. The anatomical makeup, archetype of what Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb want to have as far as the prototypical wide receiver under Coach DeMarcus Shepard. And big body receivers thrive in this system. Guys that can be very versatile in their skill sets as far as route running, stretching the field, dynamic one-on-one mismatches. You're not going to get a full secondary of 6'3", 6'2" corners and safeties that can really be rangy defenders, right? And when you got guys that can go second and third level route concepts, like a 5'7" Waddle type, movement, it's scary to deal with. And you take guys that can throw off platform, their release points are different, like Keelan Russell, and for the future, Jet Tamala right now committed to the Crimson Tide. Austin Mack and his development, never know what can happen in his opportunities. I think we're going to see glimpses of it this year, and it's going to be at such a high clip that it's going to be unrealistic to see how the rest of the future guys, Batier Brooks, Rico Scott, who I think is going to have another year to prove himself. Who else is on the roster? Derek Meadows. If we can get him to stick, man, adding more big bodies, seeing the development curve where the skill sets match, I can see a guy like him maybe transitioning out just because of how the room looks. But you mess around and get him to stick, you keep that ISO X receiver, that hybrid wide type receiver in the room. And then look at the tight end room, Max Sutter in this class. Adding him to Caleb Edwards and Marshall Pritchett, and Jay Lindsey is on campus right now. It's a stacked roster when you talk about receiving assets and what's available for the quarterback room. So don't be surprised if we go and get a big name quarterback to commit in the 27 class. Like it wouldn't be crazy to see it happen. You look at all the options available at the University of Alabama and what's coming up, it's very attractive.
Oh, there's Booby Feaster. We got the intel from our friend Leanne that he's going to be making that commitment date on the 4th of July. That's before 247. Shout out to Leanne Herring at recruiting at the Voice of College Football, the Rebel Walk at Kentucky Wildcats Wire. Keeping us updated. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think we got Booby. I don't think we're going to get him. I think he enjoyed his visit and everything, but it was more so a value type thing with him. And I think he deserves an opportunity to be wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 for sure. And I don't think that the opportunity is at Alabama with him and his skill set next season.
There we go. Well, we wish him a lot of luck if he doesn't go to Alabama.
Yeah.
Cedarian Morgan, that's a big one, though. Definitely. A lot of people are wondering, though, like, is he going to go to Auburn where he's going to be immediately like a star, or is he going to go to Bama where, might have to wait a bit? Well, maybe not, but I'm hoping he goes to Alabama for sure. I mean, he would be a big-time get, but as Coach Johnny mentioned the other night, he kind of is more on Auburn country, part of the state. It's closer to Auburn, but I don't think necessarily that will matter all that much. It's going to be big. Definitely. Me and Jackson have talked about the possibility of having a watch party for that. I don't know if we are having a watch party for that, but it's a big commitment for sure.
Well, we could do that now that it's like at 1 p.m. Let me double check. Okay. No, that's 1 p.m. Eastern time. Don't let me get the times mixed up.
Yeah, it's one my time, noon your time.
I wish 247 would get that straightened out. Just say, 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Just put the ET on there. ET phone home,
There you go. I mean, that may seem easier. But yeah, that would be pretty easy. What about Deshaun Spencer? What do you think's gonna happen with him, Coach?
I haven't been in contact with Spencer, but I know early in the process, I can't remember. Did he ever come for his official? I think he actually missed on his official to come to Bama. Um, I can't remember. That was either February or March when I was in contact with him. But that's a guy that might take it to early signing day too, man. We saw the reports on Tank Jones. I think he's going to take his commitment out to signing day. A lot of guys I feel like are going to really wait it out, man. It's a lot of changes and shifts happening with rosters. Guys want to know for sure before they commit. They don't want to be committed too early, and then a guy in front of them has a bad season, and they end up finding out he coming back. Like now, the plan has to change or adjust. I'm not really. It's. I think it's okay. I think it's okay to be that type of recruit when that's your priority. That's literally, if you're a day one talent, that should be active in a rotation at the next level, day one on campus. Look at your opportunities there. If you can find a scheme where that fits and you're able to impact, do it by all means. I see you got my youngin' Nick Abrams on the screen, man. It's an interesting process with Nick Abrams. I'm telling y'all, it's interesting. This you see this class defensively, especially in the linebacker room, is getting stacked. It's getting stacked. More guys leaning. If he commits to this linebacker class, it'll blow me away because one, he's a fit, but it'll be like an extra gem, like another 5-star talent that probably won't get the 5-star rating because of the max amount of slots. But you're talking about a 4-star that's going to be right there, and that like Duke Johnson situation with Duke Johnson, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I think Alabama is really stacking this class. Just the vibe around these recruits is different, man.
And as we've got in the chat, we're asking every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to see a Nick Abrams commitment watch party on July 16th, because regardless of where he commits to Oregon, Alabama, Georgia, or Michigan, we will be making sure that we will have a watch party reaction for his commitment if you guys want it. We will be making sure we're on the move for that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Got that right. Man, it's going to be
crazy week, right? Crazy week is like, it's. I think it's been more crazy for me because I've literally been kind of like, hey guys, it's coming. Like it's, and if you follow me on Twitter, I like to get the fan base riled up because I don't think people understand the type of energy and effort that goes into, building these relationships and having these conversations and not mishandling their trust of these families, because in this day and age, man, you people, and I'm saying you people, you fans are cruel. You are different. For some reason, if a student athlete chooses to not play for your school after coming and saying that they had a good time at your facility, they're somehow chasing a bag all of a sudden. But they're going to get money at the University of Alabama too. So I don't care to appease the people that just be, hey, where this kid going? For what? So you can go and act like you know something? No. If you want to know, go ask them, follow them, talk to them, support them. Go and buy some of their merch. Go find out what they do on a daily. Go find out their story by following their content and actually supporting these kids. And that's what I do with a lot of the targets that come up on the radar with Alabama. And that's I'm glad that the Voice of College Football team, Alabama team, we're really taking a step out there this fall. So you guys are going to start really having more in-depth, hands-on interactive content, informative content to have here. And it's gonna be real spicy. It's gonna be real spicy because we're coming on the scene and we're a young, thriving group. Y'all see the channel growing weekly. I'm seeing the numbers. I'm seeing the live audience beginning to grow between both platforms. And as we continue to market this thing, we want to, solicit you all to continue to share the content. We know it's more of an informative basis here, but we get spicy too, don't we, guys? We get a little spicy. We get a little spicy. So continue to support, man. And yeah, man, Alabama football is really turning the page, and I think this is the year, man. This is the season. I think this is the time where Kalen DeBoer knows he has an opportunity. Courtney Morgan knows they have an opportunity, and this 26 class can really be the kickoff, kind of like the 09 signing class for Coach Saban.
Oh yeah. Man, that was awesome seeing the 09 class. Like I remember seeing DJ Fluker because I remember like watching highlights of him in June 2009 on my aunt's computer, and my uncle was like, DJ Fluker, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it was just funny. Like I won't forget like watching DJ Fluker highlights in his high school days. Like those are fun.
Just remember how long it took to upload highlights back then. Like,
Oh
I don't think people realize what it was like trying to follow recruiting back in those days. That's why now I appreciate the people that want to tell the real stories, man. Tell the good stuff, and no slight at the big names. They're limited because of their reach and what they try to provide. But I would love to see those bigger names kind of support the guys at the lower levels, because there's some quality guys, especially in the state of Alabama. I'm really plugged in the state of Alabama now with high school recruiting. We're plugged in with a lot of your major programs where a lot of your big name in-state kids are actually playing at and getting recruited out of, whether it's to Alabama or out of state. And I got kids that I've been following from their 10th grade year. Now they're at Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Oregon, South Carolina, Auburn. Like, you think I'm going to stop interacting with these kids because they're not Bama players? No. These are young men that really are defying the odds. There are certain stories that should be told and that can inspire the next generation, instead of saying, because I wasn't starting on my varsity football team my sophomore year, I quit and I ended up on the streets. Nah, some of these kids didn't start sophomore or junior year, got an opportunity senior year, it blew up, and now they're at Oregon, now they're at Texas A&M. So it's all about just presenting the right message when you're covering the sport and covering the players and the personnel, whether it's debate, whatever. Do it in a sense of respect, and that's where I'm at with the industry, and I think that's what the Voice of College Football does across the board, and I'm glad to be a part of this.
We are glad to have you part of the Voice College Football, Coach. And as I said in the chat, as I put in, I asked, would you like to see a commitment watch party reaction for Nick Abrams on July 16th? We got a vote 1 for yes from Zachary Wilges. Let's go. There we go.
Oh, man, y'all, I can't believe who I'm seeing in the chat.
Oh, Jada.
Jay the GOAT, man. Let me tell y'all about Jay the GOAT. Can I act up for 20 seconds? 20 seconds, and then it's not going to be bad. All right, check this out. Jay the GOAT used to call into my show. And I remember, I forget which game it was, chat. I got AAA members there. I forget which game it was, but Jay the GOAT's temperature changed drastically during the season, and he earned the Fairweather Fan of the Year reward in like week 4 on the Coach Smoot Network, and he disappeared. So I'm just glad to see you, Jay the GOAT. Everybody give it up for my fellow Jay the GOAT, man. He said, yeah, I know. You the one disappeared. I ain't had nothing against you, bro. I just call it like I see it. Fairweather as they come. Fairweather Fan of the Year, my guy, Jay the GOAT.
Oh, man. I think Jay the GOAT's called it a couple times on the Alabama College show Thursday nights.
Hey, Jay the GOAT, he swear he Bama until we get some adversity. You can't talk all that, Jay the GOAT. I don't care where you go, what you're doing. You're fair weather to me until proven otherwise. You're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty. You've been caught red-handed. I'm glad to see you, though, man.
Oh, man.
It's all good fun, man. I like to pick at our fan base more than any others. It's better to pick with your brothers and sisters than to go outside and get caught slipping and have somebody picking at you that don't care about you. So yeah.
But yeah, it's always fun hearing what the chat's got to say, for sure. It's always fun just keeping an eye on it. Sometimes it's kind of like, it's so funny where you cannot look at the chat.
Yeah, like if you do, you'll just start busting out laughing for like 5 minutes straight, and you just
I had to turn off my
the show goes off the rails.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, Coach, what have you got going on this week? I know you've been playing a little bit of college football 25 on EA Sports on TikTok.
Man.
What'd you say?
Yeah, man. I saw the Voice of College Football does the simulations, and so we're actually having something set up soon to incorporate what Coach Smook has been doing, and kind of we got some content creators that I've been collabing with that's going to provide some quality in season content over here on this channel. I was going to keep it strictly for my channel, but I think I'm really invested into this network for real, y'all, and what's growing. So we got some ideas that's going to transpire. We're going to kind of coordinate some things. Going to get Jeffrey in here, you know, get the offensive coordinator in, you know what I'm saying? Get our Eli Gold and Jackson into the stream, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get us a defensive coordinator hired, and we're gonna have some quality content for y'all. This is not gonna be your normal informative page, man. We're gonna really grasp you and invite you in, and I appreciate the team for really buying in, man, keeping it at a level to where we want to be respected amongst the, you know, publications and the credential statuses and all of that. So we do our team reporting, but there is an edge to be had when it comes to covering college football, and it doesn't have to be vulgar. It could definitely be on a deliverable rate, and I think that's where we're really chopping at some necks and really stabbing our way into this game, man. So continue to support y'all, but y'all know what I'm doing, man. We got some gaming. We probably gonna do late night gaming tonight, but morning show kicking back off Thursday morning. We have some live content tomorrow. We were doing recruiting, but tomorrow I got a lot of things that I'm probably just gonna put out live. VOD format maybe, but I'm gonna be going live a few times tomorrow discussing some things that I've been hearing surrounding college football. So just tap in at Coach Smook on our platforms, Coach Smook Gaming on YouTube, and Smook Hines on YouTube. Go check me out on all those platforms and support your boy as we continue to spread the word about our Crimson Tide, man.
There you go. And as long as TikTok is still in the USA, make sure to give Coach Smook a follow.
Yeah, we lit on TikTok, man. The TikTok family is growing. It's really growing. So yeah, I'm using it to try to drive them this way. It might be a few sliding through. They probably won't catch it live because of the notifications, but we're gonna get everything fixed, y'all. We're gonna really grow this audience here, and y'all are gonna really start seeing some new faces pop in because we really believe in what we're doing here.
There we go. Well, Jeffrey, what magic are you cooking up this week, man?
Oh, definitely having some more predictions for the SEC that we'll be releasing. I'm sure a lot of people will be frustrated about their favorite team's record predictions, but, you know, got to prove everybody wrong, right? Got to go out there and win some games, you know, just not a lot of confidence in some of the lower tier SEC teams. Somebody's got to lose. But for our Alabama Crimson Tide, my record predictions are out on my YouTube channel, Only Talk Sports. Definitely check out my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, would definitely appreciate it. I got tons of content coming down the pike for all of you from tons of different teams, not just Alabama. But here, Alabama, the voice of college football, it's all Alabama all the time. Mondays and Thursdays, me and Jackson are doing live streams with Johnny on Monday, Alabama Crimson Tide Live, and then on Thursdays with the Collins Show. That's probably our craziest show on the network. That thing can get absolutely unhinged sometimes, but that's why we love it. And then also, you know, on Tuesdays with Coach Smook and Jackson, we also have Manny Wilson, but he hasn't been here recently, so Jackson's been filling in. Just figured I'd pop in tonight if you guys didn't mind. Appreciate you guys letting me on tonight. It was a fun time. And, like Coach Smook said, spread the word of Alabama, and definitely appreciate all the support we have already garnished so far on the channel. And definitely, if you haven't already, subscribe down below. Doesn't matter if you're a Bama fan or not. We appreciate everybody.
There you go. And you can also check out one of Jeffrey's latest live streams where Austin and I collabed with him on who we think are the top 10 QBs are going into 2025 for college football. And let me tell you something, it was a pretty fun show, and we stayed up a little later than we should have.
Wait.
So, yeah, I was up. Yeah, I was acting up that night.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. But, of course, you can check out my personal channel at Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube. We're 322 subs away from that magic number 1,000, where I've got my latest episode, The Jacksonian with College Football with Sam, where we talked a little bit about James Franklin, Dan Laney, which one of those guys will have their first national title as a head coach, and much more. And more updates on Crimson Tide Live, or Alabama with the Voice of College Football, or the Jacksonian, or the Once a Week calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show. Check them out on Jacksonville CFB on /Twitter, and Jackson Johnson 543908 on Instagram and Threads. And also give Alabama the Voice of College Football a follow on /Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Alabama VOCFB. And of course, you can check out Alabama Crimson Tide Live and Alabama Primetime Live on your favorite audio platform on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video of Alabama with the Boys College Football. And we will see you Thursday night. Good night, everybody.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Roll.
Hallelujah.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.